Okay, back at it again. There's my book. Here we go. Act 3, Scene 3. Here we are back in the Boar's Head in the tavern in London, and this again is going to be a scene circling around Falstaff, his idiot friends, and then Hal. In the Boar's Head Tavern in London, Falstaff complains to Bardolph about how thin and weak he has gotten of late, which is obviously a ridiculous claim for the hugely fat Falstaff to make. The hostess of the tavern, Mistress Quickly, appears and demands payment from Falstaff for the food and drink he has consumed, as well as for some clothing she has recently bought for him. Falstaff responds that his pocket was picked the previous night while he was asleep, and he accuses her of having done it. This is not a lie. His pocket was picked, but remember who picked his pocket? Prince Hal. He claims to have had money and a valuable ring in the pocket. The hostess accuses Falstaff of trying to get out of paying his bills, but their argument is interrupted by the entrance of Prince Harry and Peto. Also remember, when Hal picked his pocket, all he found was, like IOUs. Harry's news is unsurprising, but important. War is at hand, and all must go off to fight. But first, the group must settle the matter of Falstaff's picked pocket. After some bawdy teasing at the expense of the dim-witted hostess, Harry reveals that he himself emptied Falstaff's pocket the night before, and that he found nothing in them but tavern bills, receipts from whorehouses, and a handful of candy. Falstaff, with his usual quick-wittedness, promptly weasels out of admitting wrongdoing once again, and tells the hostess that he forgives her, and orders breakfast. Harry informs Falstaff that he has bailed him out yet again. He has paid back the money that Falstaff and the others have stolen and lost the day before. Finally, he gets around to assigning the war commissions to his friends. He sends Bardolph off to deliver letters on horseback to King Henry's troops, who are already on their way, one letter to Harry's younger brother John, and another to the Earl of Westmoreland. He orders Peto to come on a different errand with him, and he tells Falstaff that he has put him in charge of a brigade of foot soldiers, commanding him to meet him the following afternoon to get the details of the commission. All business now. Harry departs on his military errand with Peto. Falstaff, for his part, does not plan to let the war effort come between him and a good breakfast.
Bardolph, am I not fallen away vilely since this last action? Do I not bate? Do I not dwindle? Why, my skin hangs about me like an old lady's loose gown. I'm withered like an old apple john. Well, I'll repent, and that's suddenly while I'm in some liking. I shall be out of heart shortly, and then I shall have no strength to repent. And I've not forgotten what the inside of a church is made of. I'm a peppercorn, a brewer's horse. The inside of a church. Company. Villainous company hath been the spoil of me.
Sir John, you are so fretful, you cannot live long.
Why, there it is. Come, sing me a bawdy song, make me merry. I was as virtuously given as a gentleman need to be. Virtuous enough. Swore little, diced not, above 7 times a week. Went to a bawdy house not above once in a quarter of an hour. Paid money that I borrowed 3 or 4 times, lived well and in good compass. And now I live out of all order, out of all compass.
Why, you are so fat, Sir John, that you must needs be out of all compass. Out of all reasonable compass, Sir John.
Do thou amend thy face, and I'll amend my life. Thou art our admiral. Thou bearest the lantern in the poop. But 'tis in the nose of thee. Thou art the knight of the burning lamp.
Why, Sir John, my face does you no harm.
No, I'll be sworn. I make as good use of it as many a man doth of a death's head or a memento mori.
Oh.
I never see thy face, but I think upon round thy face. My oath should be, by this fire, that's God's angel. But thou art altogether given over, and wert indeed but for the light in thy face, the son of utter darkness. When thou ranst up Gad's hill in the night to catch my horse, if I did not think thou hadst been an ignis fatuus, or a ball of wildfire, there's no purchase in money. Oh, thou art a perpetual triumph, an everlasting bonfire light. Thou saved me 1,000 marks in links and torches, walking with thee in the night betwixt tavern and tavern. But the sack that thou hast drunk me would have bought me lights as good cheap at the dearest charmers in Europe. I've maintained that salamander of yours with fire any time this 32 years. God reward me for it.
Blood, I wouldn't my face were in your belly.
God have mercy, so should I be sure to be heartburn. How now, Dame Partlet the Hen? Have you inquired yet who picked my pocket?
Why, Sir John? What do you think, Sir John? Do you think I keep thieves in my house? I've searched, I've inquired. So has my husband. Man by man, boy by boy, servant by servant. The tithe of an hair was never lost in my house before.
You lie, hostess. Bardolph was shaved and lost many a hair, and I'll be sworn my pocket was picked. Go to, you are a woman. Go.
Oh, I? No, I didn't find thee. God's line. I was never called so in mine own house before.
Go to, I know you well enough.
Go to means go to hell.
No, Sir John, you do not know me, Sir John. I know you, Sir John. You owe me money, Sir John, and now you pick a quarrel to beguile me of it. I bought you a dozen of shirts to your back.
Dowlers, filthy dowlers. I've given them away to bakers' wives. They've made bolters of them.
Now, as I am a true woman, Holland of 8 shillings an ell.
Ha!
You owe money here besides, Sir John, for your diet and by-drinkings, and money lent you £24.
He had his part of it. Let him pay.
Hey? Alas, he's poor, he has nothing.
How? Poor? Look upon his face. What call you rich? Let them coin his nose. Let them coin his cheeks. I'll not pay a denier. What, will you make a younker of me? Shall I not take mine ease in mine inn, but I shall have my pocket picked? I've lost a seal ring of my grandfather's worth 40 mark.
Oh, jeez, you. I've heard the prince tell him I know not how off that ring was governor.
How? The prince is a jack, a sneak-up. Sblood, if he were here, I would cudgel him like a dog if he was seen so. How now? Is the wind in that door, Faith? Must we all march?
Yea, 2 and 2 Newgate fashion.
My lord, I pray you hear me.
What sayest thou, mistress, quickly? How doth thy husband? I love him well. He is an honest man.
Good, my lord, hear me.
Prithee, let her alone and listen to me.
What sayest thou, Jack?
The other night I fell asleep here behind the arras and had my pocket picked. This house is turned bawdy house. They pick pockets.
What didst thou lose, Jack?
Wilt thou believe me, Hal? 3 or 4 bonds of £40 apiece and a seal ring of my grandfather's.
A trifle. Some 8-penny matter.
So I told him, my lord, and I said I heard your grace say so, and my lord, he speaks most vilely of you, like a foul-mouthed man as he is, and said he would cudgel you.
What? He did not.
There's neither faith, truth, nor woman, or did me else.
There's no more faith in thee than in a stewed prune, nor no more truth in thee than in a drawn fox. And for womanhood, Maid Marian may be the deputy's wife of the ward to thee. Go, you thing, go!
Say, what thing, what thing?
What thing? Why, a thing to thank God on.
I have no thing to thank God on. I would thou shouldst know it. I'm an honest man's wife, and setting thy knighthood aside, thou art a knave to call me so.
Ha! Setting thy womanhood aside, thou'rt a beast to say otherwise.
Say, what beast thou knave thou?
What beast? Why, an otter.
An otter, Sir John? Why an otter?
Why? Well, she's neither fish nor flesh. A man knows not where to have her.
Thou art an unjust man in saying so.
This is hilarious. So Falstaff is just insulting the hostess over and over and over. Calls her a beast. She says, "What kind of a beast?" and he doesn't know what to say because he's making everything up on the spot, and says, "An otter!" Prince Henry, "Why an otter? Well, she's neither fish nor flesh. The man knows not where to have her." So, don't know where to put a thing like that.
Thou or any man knows where to have me, thou knave thou.
Thou sayest true, hostess, and he slanders thee most grossly.
So he doth you, my lord, and said this other day you owed him £1,000.
Sirrah, do I owe you £1,000?
£1,000 now? A million! Thy love is worth a million. Thou owest me thy love.
Nay, my lord, he called you Jack and said he'd cudgel you.
Oh, did I?
Cudgel you means he said that he would beat you up.
Bardolph.
Indeed, Sir John, you said so.
Yea, if he said my ring was copper.
I say 'tis copper. Darest thou be as good as thy word now?
Why, how thou knowest, as thou art but man, I dare. But as thou art prince, I fear thee as I fear the roaring of the lion's whelp.
And why not as the lion?
The king himself is to be feared as the lion. Dost thou think I'll fear thee as I fear thy father? Nay, and I do, I pray God my girdle break.
Oh, if it should, how would thy guts fall about thy knees? But, Sirrah, there's no room for faith, truth, nor honesty in this bosom of thine. It is all filled up with guts and midriff. Charge an honest woman with picking thy pocket? Why, thou whoreson, impudent, embossed rascal, if there were anything in thy pocket but tavern reckonings, memorandums of bawdy houses, and one poor pennyworth of sugar candy to make thee long-winded, if thy pocket were enriched with any other injuries but these, I am a villain. And yet you will stand to it. You will not pocket up wrong. Art thou not ashamed?
So Prince Henry is saying, there was nothing in your pockets except tavern bills, notes about whorehouses, a little bit of candy. How dare you accuse this innocent woman of stealing anything from you when you own nothing in the first place?
Thou hear, Hal. Thou knowest in the state of innocency Adam fell. And what should poor Jack Falstaff do in the days of villainy? Thou seest I have more flesh than another man, and therefore more frailty. You confess then, you picked my pocket.
It appears so by the story.
Hostess, I forgive thee. Go, make ready breakfast. Love thy husband, look to thy servants, cherish thy guests. Thou shalt find me tractable to any honest reason. Thou seest I'm pacified still. Nay, prithee, begone. Now, Hal, to the news at court. For the robbery, lad, how is that answered?
Oh, my sweet beef, I must still be good angel to thee. The money is paid back again.
So remember, in a couple scenes previous to this, Falstaff was in big trouble because he and his friends had robbed the highwaymen, which was one of the first things that happened in the play. And so he's saying, listen, Hal, like, what happened with that? Do I owe them money? Did you cover me? And Prince Henry says, oh, my sweet beef, I must still be good angel to thee. So I'm still kind of like your guardian angel. The money is paid back. So Hal paid back the money that Falstaff has stolen. He also paid back all his debts, all the IOUs that he found in his pocket that night.
Oh, I do not like that paying back. 'Tis a double labor.
I am good friends with my father and may do anything.
Rob me the exchequer the first thing thou doest, and do it with unwashed hands too.
Do, my lord.
I have procured thee, Jack, a charge of foot.
Would it have been of horse?
So now all of a sudden Henry is all business. So Falstaff's still trying to joke around, and Henry says, I've procured thee, Jack, a charge of foot, meaning you are now in charge of foot soldiers. And Falstaff, first thing he says is, well, I wish it would have been a horse brigade, not foot soldiers, considering the fact that the man himself can barely walk.
Where shall I find one that can steal well? Oh, for a fine thief of the age of 22 or thereabouts. I'm heinously unprovided. Well, God be thanked for these rebels. They offend none but the virtuous. I laud them, I praise them.
Bardolph,
My lord.
go bear this letter to Lord John of Lancaster.
Huh?
To my brother John. This to my Lord of Westmoreland. Go, Peto, to horse, for thou and I have 30 miles to ride yet ere dinner time. Jack, meet me tomorrow in the Temple Hall at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There shalt thou know thy charge, and there receive money and order for their furniture. The land is burning. Percy stands on high. Neither we or they must lower thy.
Rare words. Brave world. Hostess, my breakfast, come. Oh, I could wish this tavern were my drum.
Okay. So the land is burning, Percy stands on high, and either we or they must lower lie. What does it mean to lower lie? If we're on top of the earth, how much lower can you get? Under it, in a grave. So he's saying, listen, the time is here, the land is burning, things have come to a head, and now either we or the rebels are about to die. So, let us discuss the important notes for this scene. Okay, and again, there's not a ton of significance here, except that we see again that Hal is taking care of Falstaff. And he's giving him command of soldiers. So, although Hal is constantly berating Falstaff, he's constantly making fun of him, poking fun, we do get the sense here that he wants his friend to make more of himself, and that he's providing himself the opportunity to do so by giving him foot soldiers to be in charge of. So remember, in the previous scene, we talked about how Hal is kind of in the middle of making that choice about whether or not he's going to follow in his father's footsteps, and he's kind of torn between being able to still be in communion with Falstaff or knowing whether or not he has to completely push him out of his life. And so here, it's almost like he's giving Falstaff this last opportunity to make something of himself and to show Hal that he does have honor, and that he does have a little bit of courage in him, and that he's not all bad. Whether or not Falstaff takes the opportunity, we will see, but that's essentially what Hal is doing here. So again, it is sad because we get the idea that Hal actually really cares about Falstaff. He really does cherish the relationship. He does not want to have to cast out Falstaff from his life, but he needs Falstaff to step up. He needs Falstaff to show him that he's worthy of being in company with a prince. Alright, that's it for this scene. That's it for this week. I will see you in the next video.